DreamHack Masters Winter is brought to you by Intel, Corsair, Monster Energy, and MSI.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the next exciting game here at the DreamHack Masters. We have got the Juggernaut Killers in Cloud9 going up against Gambit, who just came off the back of a pretty impressive win for the young squad coming out here. Now, we've changed the faces around. You've got me, James Banks, your host, joined by Pimp and Maniac. Pimp, how you doing, my man? We're on the road once again.
Yeah, it feels like we're here, there, and everywhere, James. It's good to be here. It's good to be back with you and back with Matthew as well.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Change of setup, change of context, change of city, but Counter-Strike remains.
That's what it's all about, right? The Counter-Strike the whole way through. We're going to take a look at Group A, where this game is taking place. And it is an interesting group to battle out in here already, right? We've seen in the upper bracket, Heroic got the early win there, a 2-0. But the surprising one, maybe surprising to some, maybe not to others, is the Spirit getting a 2-0 over FaZe.
I'm actually not that quite surprised. I feel Spirit is a good team. I feel FaZe right now, FaZe are in a position where we don't really know what to expect. So I think Spirit is a good team. I didn't expect them to win 2-0, but I actually would have predicted them to win against FaZe Clan.
Yeah, we heard from Rain in that post-game interview when he says, you know, the situation is complicated for us right now. We don't really know where to look for. The mood is a little bit down. I think for FaZe, it's the lack of focus on long-term that is a problem. We know Olofmeister was going to come in, and he pretty much did what he could, and he's still doing what he could, but where's the long-term? I think as a player, it takes a toll on you. Yeah,
they've got a lot to work with at the moment, right? They've got a lot to try and get done here. The exciting match we have on our hands for today now, we get Cloud9 back, right?
Again.
They managed to take down the Juggernaut, right? And everyone was shocked and they loved it. Then they kind of learnt their lesson last time around, right? They kind of maybe got knocked back to reality.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was not like they were playing a bad game of Counter-Strike. When they lost, they were playing a decent game of Counter-Strike, but I think it was a reality check, as you said. You know, them not being able to fully contest against the best of the best just yet. But again, we saw a lot of potential and they're showing glimpses of it. Also, every single game we watch them play, they get better and better and better.
Now, we need our guys in Twitch chat to make sure they do their thing of which team they want to take the win here. If it's going to be Cloud9, if it's going to be Gambit, depending on which way they think it's going to go. And I'm guessing we're going to be more favored towards Cloud9. But we can't say too badly, right, about Gambit, considering the impressive win they just had yesterday in a grand final, in a best of 5 for the young squad.
Yeah, if confidence plays any role in Counter-Strike, then they come in here, you know, hot route. They won 3-1 against Spirits. It's always good to win trophies. Don't matter if it's online, offline. It doesn't matter at all. And now you play Cloud9 at a time where it might be the best because the expectations suddenly are quite high. We started last week thinking, okay, Cloud9, what can you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Then they beat Complexity, they fall short to Mousesports, but now every game where they lose, people are going to be saying, but why did you not win? You won against Complexity. What's happening?
Yeah.
So they have to fight, they have to battle, they have to confirm at every turn. And you know what? Gambit might be the one to take them down.
And this is it, right? Gambit, actually, when you look back at their results, and the thing I love about this little squad we've got here is this is a true young team being built, right? They're basically the opposite to what C9 is. C9 is this all guns blazing, expensive team, put together, try and form a super team. Gambit has been this long-lasting project, and we covered them a lot for the RMR, Jacob.
Yeah, and they were looking good, and they were showing a lot of potential. There's a couple of players within that lineup where you think to yourself, okay, there could be a future superstar within the ranks. I'm thinking of a guy like Shiro, I'm thinking Exile. There's some quality players within Gambit, as you're right, you know, the contrast between Cloud9 and Gambit. There's so many teams out there, but the contrast between the two of them, right? Low budget when it comes to Gambit, you know, new players that you're trying to mold, you're trying to grow them, you're trying to make them the future superstars, where for Cloud9, they tried to buy their way to success from the beginning. They invested a lot of money in a lot of, let's call them superstars, or at least, you know, soon to be superstars if everything goes as planned. But right now for Gambit, they're slowly but surely getting to a point, where they're gonna be competitive against some of the best teams in the world.
And there's one thing I look at with this Gambit roster. I was very scared when Hobbit came back to the roster, thinking, oh God, we're getting rid of the young guns, you're bringing him back in, he's not had his old performances. But actually, you go look over his past performance recently, his experience certainly seems to be benefiting this team.
And that's the key word, experience right here. I think Hobbit had a shift in terms of role and responsibility in that roster. We have to say, though, he's joining a team, a core that has been together for a while.
Yeah.
The rest of them have been together for a long, long time. So you come in as, I don't want to say, I think mentor might be an overused here because they've been together for so long, but you can boost them in terms of experience instantly. How do we react in those games? And playing a team like Cloud9 in a competition like here, that could be exactly where you need someone that's not going to shake when it's important, that's going to have the right call at the right moment. So this is where Hobbit shines. We don't need him to go 45 kills every time.
No.
Just needs to be a good leader in terms of experience.
And I think that's what they were missing, right? I remember I spoke to him first at the Berlin Major, and you saw him come into this. And at the time, some of them were still studying, they were at school and stuff, and they were trying to play full-time alongside it. Now they're all in a position where actually they can be dedicated to the game, and they can benefit from someone like him. But for me, this is how they elevate themselves to the next level, because I think if you stuck with just the young guys the whole way, then maybe you don't have this success as more recently as now.
I would agree with that. I think it's good to get some experience in, and I think, for Gambit, they are a team, where the cliche saying, time will do them well is definitely fitting, right? The more time they get together as a team, the more time they get against, some of the best teams out there, the more time they get to play on a high level of Counter-Strike, they learn every single game. Shiro, Exile, they're superstars for the future. I'm sure of it. They're going to be some of those players Navi's going to look towards, and the CIS is going to look towards when you want your new stars.
And do you know what I love about this? You mentioned Shiro and Axel. I spoke to Blade a long time ago, and he was saying these are the two for the future. Shiro right now, okay, he is a very explosive player, and we see him can have some hit and miss performances, but I'm seeing actual depth to how he is understanding situations. Before, he just used to be crazy, trigger happy. Now he's starting to become a bit more understanding of how top level Counter-Strike should be played.
Yeah, and top level being the key word right here. You can be very skilled, you can be mechanically gifted, and we have so many of these players coming through the rankings and the FPLs of the world, but then suddenly you play against top teams, and what used to work doesn't work anymore. You have to reinvent yourself, you have to have that deeper layer to your game, and this is where you have to reinvent yourself, take that new dimension. Now we talk about Gambit, and I'm wondering, the window of opportunity for them to make it to the next level, I feel like is wide open. Sure. This might be the best timing for them to make a statement and say, we deserve to play at Search Tournament. We will not just be eliminated after 2 matches. But it's also a window that closes very fast in Counter-Strike. We know we had many teams sort of in the pipeline, almost ready to break through, and then they just quite don't make it.
Yeah, and it's kind of about seizing your opportunity, right? If you get that opportunity gifted, or you earn your way to the opportunity and you don't really take it, you don't really embrace it, then you are going to be thought of, as a team that, sure, they were close, but they quite couldn't make it. Gambit, they have a good chance right here, especially considering Cloud9, right? Because where are they? We don't really know yet. It's still a relatively new team.
Well, let's talk to the Gambit guys. We've got them for an interview, so we get to actually hear what they're going to be able to say here and see what the Gambit camp is thinking.
Check mid, but he'll be seeing nothing, and this shadow is going to be the end for Finnegan.
DreamHack Masters Winter, it's our first big tournament. We just will prepare as much as we can. Hobbit bring us more confident. We feel like we can win everyone.
And Shiro will chime off as well. One dropping towards under, but that's a nice flick down. Looking for the third, and they'll hit it.
We played versus Cloud9, so we will try to make as many games as we can, because it's a really good experience for us.
They need to get on this bomb, and they need to get on it now. And with the cover not there, it's the clean-up for Nafany.
We have a good plan for Cloud9, and we are ready.
And I love this, right? What did he say just there? That he wants to play as many of these games as possible. They understand that it's not just the experience getting from a player like Hobbit, but it's the experience they're getting in the server in this level of competition.
Yeah, and you can't really put a value to that experience. As said, the more games they play, the more success stories they have, the better the team is going to feel and the better they're going to be for the future.
And the future is really bright for these guys, but also the future of Cloud9 is something that has been the talking point of the CSGO community since they have come together. The C9, the money-making team, the Colossus, whatever else you want to call them, right now finally got their first win, and it was against Complexity, who are no small team in terms of performance and what they can output here, but still, we don't know the depth yet, right? They're still on the learning points.
Look, Cloud9 is a very fast evolving story. That's what it is right now. If you go back 1 week ago, we talk about the 4 maps they've lost, disappointment and whatnot, people being very harsh. Then they beat beat an IP, they pick Complexity. Then some people even pick them as favorite to win against Mousesports, not mentioning anyone. And you know, now the expectations are here, and that's what I'm talking about when we see the evolution of that project, is that you have a target on your back now. You have earned your stripes, people wait and expect for you to perform. And from now on, it's going to be about them showing that they have the shoulders for that. It's not about just upsetting people. It's not about creating the surprise, but it's about, you know, maintaining your status.
And one thing is coming into a game being the underdog, you know, knowing that you're not supposed to win, and you can play I wouldn't say a more free style of Counter-Strike, but you play without the pressure, knowing that if you lose, well, that's what people expect, that's what our GM expect, and that's what we as players probably also expected coming into it. Now they go into a game, and I would say for the first time, they are the legitimate favorites coming into the matchup. They are supposed to win against Gambit, so now they have to play with the pressure, knowing that if they lose, people will come after them.
And this is one thing now, right, where they have to cement themselves as a dominant force and say, okay, we are the favorites, we have the better players, we have the more experience, and we should be able to quite easily tuck away a Gambit. But I don't think it is going to be that easy for them, because we still don't know what their map's like, right?
Yep.
We don't know how far they can go with it. We're learning every step of the way with this Cloud9 roster.
Yeah, you talk about preparation, and I think there is a big difference between preparing a game against Complexity, that's absolutely at the top, and usually has a very clear go-to way to approach the games, because they have refined that method for a long time. So you have a leader like Alex that can go deep into these demos, find out what's going to happen, Kassad obviously as a coach making work, and then you play against Gambit. No disrespect at all. Other form of Counter-Strike, other school of thought as well, other philosophy in the game. So maybe for Alex, that we know in the game can just 4D chess his way out of it. Can you do that against Gambit? A different type of Counter-Strike? It's another challenge as well.
A very unpredictable Gambit, right, as well. Very different for him. One player, though, we talk about Estitag on here. Now, he got hyped up from the Astralis moment, right? Cloud9 comes in, swoops him, buys him up. But he is the player they need to hit the mark in a big way, right, for them to find success at this level.
Yeah, sure. I think he's going to be a vital factor for how good Cloud9 can be for the future. No doubt. You look at the salary that he was put into as well. They're paying him a lot of money, so you expect a lot of outcome of that money as well. You expect him to be productive on the server, to be productive in a team like Cloud9. And so far, it's been a bit up and down. I don't think you can say Estitag has been a disappointment. I don't think you can say anyone winning Cloud9 has been a disappointment. Still way too early to say, but I expect a lot from Estitag, and I think the fans out there, knowing how much he's getting paid, is expecting a lot from Estitag. So far, I'm not sure if I'm convinced that you know, is the right pay level to be at. You know, you look at a guy like BlameF earning a lot of money, but as of right now, he needs to step it up just a notch.
Well, we keep talking about Cloud9. We keep trying to learn more about them, so let's hear what they had to say going into this one.
It's kind of difficult to prepare fully for the Gambit game yet, but like our expectations for the tournament is of course to get into the playoffs, get some points, and of course if we get into the playoffs we'll be even hungrier for, you know, making the finals or semifinals. I'm sure that is everyone's goal. I think it's kind of surreal to say you're gonna win it when there's really stacked names in there. But Gambit, like, it's an opponent that, you know, they play super well as of late. Like, I'm really scared of that Shiro guy. He's been playing lights out. Like, it's a guy you don't really talk about, but I think he has like something around 340 maps or something, and he has a rating of 1.26 or something. It's something nutty. So I think Gambit is a team that's gone really under the radar, and I think it's a really strong team. But if we can play structured, more structured than we've been doing, I think we can punish them in a lot of areas, and we'll see.
And that certainly is what it's all about, right? If they are going to want to win this, they need to play a bit more structure, because if a looser style comes into play, well, we know Gambit do have players on that team that can try and match them on the skill side of things. But guys, it's your favorite time, right? It's where we get to understand what maps we're going to get here. And that's what we love about this veto time. Because again, Gambit, we got a bit more prediction with, right? We understand what they're going to try and play here. But Cloud9, we're still learning what's their go-to map, where do they feel most comfortable, what are they good at?
I was going to start this segment by saying that unfortunately for Cloud9, Gambit were going to remove Nuke. It has been one of their most consistent pick last week when they had all these good results, so it's out the window. If you're Cloud9, I'm not exactly sure in which direction you go. We have seen them pick Vertigo and fail at that, so do you want to, you know, go back to it? Now for Gambit, Overpass is right for the taking. They have a very, very high win rate on that. It's one of the maps that they pick the most, and also very challenging on the team play aspect.
I would be surprised if we don't see Overpass being picked here.
Right.
And I definitely agree with you. They look to be hot on it, so I guess we can just show it to us, show it to the viewers, and see what's going to be picked. And there we go. Okay.
Okay.
That's interesting. Vertigo makes sense in some way, I guess, if you're Gambit, but I think Cloud9 have shown us they can play it to a high level.
Yeah.
They did beat NIP. We saw Floppy going absolutely crazy on the map, finding a lot of impact. So if you're Gambit right here, to me, that's a sign of confidence. You don't really respect Cloud9 in that map pool.
Yeah, I think it could be a matter of having watched that game of Cloud9 versus Mousesports on Vertigo and feeling like you know how to abuse them. Because one thing we have to mention is that Cloud9 being a new team, they probably don't have a lot of C, D, E, F, G plan. They have one way to approach the map. If it doesn't work out, it's going to be a bit harder. So that might be a punish for the Inferno for Cloud9. Oh, their T side is ready.
Oh, yes, we've got to watch it go down. But I also want to see what the Twitch vote results are. Where have people gone? Have they gone with the money making in Cloud9? And yes, they have in quite a big way. Do you know what? I'll add a percentage to that. I'm just going to sit on the Gambit train as well, right? Why not? Well, I guess you boys are going to go with Cloud9.
It's good to see. Twitch chat is exactly as stupid as always, you know, and that's just the way it is. There's
go.
no doubt about it.
He just likes to anger Twitch chat.
In about 9 minutes.
Yeah.
9 minutes way too.
I couldn't hold it. I think it's going to be much closer than that, though. I think it's two teams who are relatively even, and I guess it's going to be a 50-50 game down the line.
50-50 game it could be, but we're going to get ourselves ready for this matchup. Cloud9 taking on Gambit after the break. We're about to head in to Cloud9 taking on Gambit. Now, Cloud9 may be the favorites, but this is certainly not going to be an easy game for them, as Gambit are coming in hot of a DreamHack Open win. They won a best-of-5 against Spirit, and they are looking like a team that could potentially be on the rise, but this will be the true test of them. And I just want to circle back, boys, to this veto, because we said it, right? Gambit picked into Vertigo. They went for that. And we saw, okay, we know Cloud9 can play it a bit. But I do feel with how that veto went, potentially, if Gambit just stuck to their guns and went with the overpass, then we'd still maybe see Vertigo in there because Cloud9 quite fancy it as well.
Yeah, but Mirage is a pretty good third deciding map as well. I think it's a question of you have two good positions to be in if you're Gambit. We talked about it during Blast as well. There's no way Cloud9 is going to win a veto process because they simply don't have a big enough map pool to do that yet. So I think Gambit have, put themselves in a position where they're comfortable with the maps.
I also think it comes down to how much information there is about Cloud9 out there. And again, it plays a role when you have a new team. I'm going to come back with that point. There is very little leeway you have. Your strat book is not infinite. If game goes bad, we have seen it against, when they had that 6-1 lead and then 8-1 lead versus Mousesports, it was very much momentum oriented. It depended on the fact whether they have the momentum or not. They lack that B plan. So maybe Gambit, playing it the safe card, knowing what Cloud9 is going to throw at them on Vertigo, thinking they could just take them.
One thing though that works massively in Cloud9's favor, and we saw it already, Alex and those reads. He has his mind in the game, and he's definitely feeling it right now.
But think about Alex, right? All he's done the past couple of weeks is focusing all his efforts towards building up a Cloud9 that is somewhat competitive against the top European teams. I doubt they've been practicing a lot against the likes of Gambit or the CIS teams. They play a different way of Counter-Strike, It's a different mindset you have to go into in a game like this. So I think despite, Cloud9 being the favorites, despite them having the bigger budget, despite them probably having the better players, it's still a game, where there's a 50-50 chance. I think Gambit is a massively underrated team, and I think Cloud9 is a team we can't really put into a box just yet. So I think after this game, we'll have learned a lot more about Gambit's potential and also about the resilience of Cloud9.
And they have nothing to lose. It is so great if you're Gambit right now. If you think about the narrative, think about how the media, us, expert community is looking at Cloud9. All lights on this. Well, own lights on Cloud9. What are you going to do? Hey, they're poking you with a stick with your money. Hey, please win games. Gambit is just having fun. It's like, if we beat you, it's all good. If we lose you, it makes sense because, you cost 5 million more than we do.
I thought you were going to say something there, Pip heard what you said and was just like, am I allowing this? Am I going to have this happen? We're going into map 1 though, boys. It is time for us to watch this go down. It is Cloud9 taking on Gambit. We are on Vertigo, and it is picked by Gambit with Cloud9 starting off on the CT side. And already, we're starting to see a big push in, a fast push coming in from Gambit.
Yeah, and the pace in this matchup is going to be very interesting to follow. Do they want to play fast or do they want to play slow games?
That's what it's going to be all about. Already those grenades coming in, though. Nafani takes a lot of damage. Less than ideal for him. They're still going to work their way in. Cloud9 keeping it very defensive. Bomb's going to get planted, but a bit of utility damage is coming back, as well as the Glock shots coming through. Alex has gone down, and well, Gambit got themselves in a nice position, but it's all about holding on from here. Still a bit of utility to be played out here for Cloud9 as they're biding their time.
There's a smoke for Cloud9. That's on S-Attack, a kit on Floppy, so it is possible, it is doable. It's about finding these kills early on. She was going to wait for that flash to looking at wall, and here it comes, Cloud9. Good trade, Inters with 2. 3 on 1 fast. S-Attack alone now. That smoke doesn't count anymore, man. You got it all to do, and it's not going to be enough. 1-0 Gambit.
Gambit
My first pistol I casted. Woo!
Maniac is loving life right now. We're hitting the whole Twitch chat community, everyone else with a wild curveball here.
There we go. We
Maniac
thought we were going to throw
pip
to
on the
someone.
mic.
Hey, joke on you, we throw to us.
It's us. We're rocking it all alone, all along. The whole way it's us. We've got the gang. And for now, honestly, from Gambit just then, that was a solid round.
That was a very solid round. And you could see they were very determined in the way they want to play it. They wanted to go fast towards A. They wanted to keep up a quick pace. And they hit Cloud9 at the exact moment where they weren't in control. They weren't in balance, so to speak. This one, though, it's so important for Gambit not to throw away this one. There's a Molotov being thrown from Nafni. And there could be 2 players being pushed out to his fate right here.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh, yes, that's 2. That's so easy. And that is so important as well. Fight back from Messi, doesn't get anything away with it, and now Floppy 2 versus 5 here. Looking rough, isn't it?
Alex able to get away with a couple of kills, though. He'll chip at him. He's grabbed himself the Galil, but it's an easy finish off. Gambit go up 2-0 already. Minimal casualties, only 2 went down thanks to Alex, but it was a good setup there from Cloud9. That could have potentially worked had Gambit gone a bit slower.
Yeah, which is why Gambit actually got away with a very good job cleaning up that A side. There was the gamble coming out from Cloud9, but good protocols. We saw these Molotovs being used very efficiently, and then Gambit just hiding behind the smoke. So it is very great, because as you can see right now on your screen, it is a dry eco round for Cloud9. So for Gambit, it's about making money, putting money in the bank, making sure that there is no reset coming onto the horizon. Is just gonna basically go through the motions of, you know, information grabbing, looking what's happening. We see Nafani with the P250 trying to grab some of it, but so far no one is in his crosshair.
And I like this, though, from Nafani, right? He saw what happened last time. He's checking for it. He doesn't want to allow any players to be hiding around. Cloud9 already starting to get their movement on, as they're aware where Gambit will be hitting for now.
Yeah, and it's one of those rounds where there's nothing really to win for Cloud9, right? You get 1-2 kills, maybe able to save an AK-47. That's a success in itself, but it's to be expected here that Gambit will just clean it up one by one, step by step, to take map control, and they will push Cloud9 out of the bomb site. And James, it's one of those rounds where we can allow ourselves to talk a little bit about the game, what we expect, and so forth. Because this round right here, I doubt Cloud9 is going to get anything away with.
Yeah, it's not much that's going to go in their favor. When it comes to like looking at Vertigo, I remember looking back at that first Cloud9 game we saw in it. It took Floppy massive heroics for them to even to be able to take it right. So we don't actually know how really good Cloud9 can be on it.
No, but the thing is,
late rounds were good.
Yeah, it worked, but the thing with Cloud9 is, right, if we remember the game against Mousesports, they got off to a very good start on both the maps, Inferno and Overpass. They were leading 8-1, 6-1 on Overpass, I believe. Oh, sorry, Vertigo. And were doing a fantastic job, and then they slowed down a little bit. Then they couldn't make it happen. So if Gambit is getting off to a good start, where does that leave Cloud9, who struggled so much in the later game against Mousesports?
Well, like
weapon save, that's really good. 3 weapons,
yeah.
A lot of money in the bank for Gambit, so in that sense, that's a successful round.
Now it's the big round for them, though, right? Can Gambit keep this momentum going on their T sides? Gonna get a big stacked up buy from Cloud9. Woxic on the AWP as always. But Shiro versus Woxic, that's something that's super interesting.
We see Cloud9 putting a lot of pressure on Woxic, who is alone right now middle. Alex will take some map control towards A-Ram. They will play behind that smoke a lot, and there I talked about it. The pressure onto Woxic, he's got to get away, because that kill would mean a lot for Gambit. Alex is going to be punished. Actually, S-Attack is being punished behind that smoke, and that's the second kill from Nafani. Huge opening kill! 3 men down for Cloud9 in a matter of 5 seconds.
He got his skates on. Opened up with the first kill. He's looking for more as well as Woxic falls. And this is Nafani coming in and absolutely wrecking them. One by one, they fall. Errors were made, and Cloud9, they get a buy round and achieve absolutely nothing.
That is the worst possible start for Cloud9 right here. Fantastic round by Nafani. getting 2 nice opening kills, and then just continuing with the pressure. One by one, they go down. And this is not the player we expect to be the big guy on the server. This is not the guy we expect to go up with the 8 frags after 3 rounds or 4 rounds or whatever. He's a supportive element there for this lineup. It's Shiro, it's Exile, so if this is your weak link within the lineup, doing this well against Cloud9 Stars, well, you're in a big trouble, Cloud9.
If you remember, right, go on to when Blade was still the coach of Gambit, and he sat there and put Exile onto the squad, onto the main squad to try and fill him, right, and give him an opportunity. He didn't hit the mark. He wasn't ready for it. Now he's come back up to life within this Gambit youngsters, but I can see multiple players on here with great careers going forward.
And the difference is that they were upgraded together as a team, promoted to, you know, the top league. So they have that, again, they have that core together. They know, they're confident. They know how to play with each other. And then, to me, that's a huge difference between, you know, being just pulled into the big boys table, so to say. So far, Gambit have been doing a stellar job at cleaning that A ramp. We see Cloud9 trying to make the difference, trying to be aggressive, never finding any success.
Mezzi's going to try and play around there, but he's not going to be able to hide. The spam comes through. Ninjas puts him down. Wants to go on the flank, but he's ready for it. Gambit are just one step ahead right now. And yes, they've got the upgraded weaponry. Yes, they're in a good spot for this no matter what. But keeping all these players alive, building this huge bank, this is incredible.
James, we're 5 rounds into this game, and Cloud9 currently done 5 kills combined. This is the perfect start for Gambit. They're all over the place, winning all the duels, and sure, it's still early stages in the game, but as I said before, Cloud9 did come off to a good start against Mousesports on both maps. Now they're off to a bad start, so I don't know about you, Matthew, but this is a little bit scary for Cloud9.
They need to change the approach. I think Gambit have called the gamble when it comes to the A ramp. Now we see change of pace coming out of Gambit, this time around focusing a lot towards the middle. There's only just one player covering the extremities, making a little bit of noise though, keeping Cloud9 guessing as to what is happening. We see on the minimap, Alex just left mid, so that might be an opening. Estag is gonna fancy his chances through the smoke, but I don't feel that comfortable about shooting it through smoke. Can go horribly wrong.
Could end up with a few bullets coming back in his face. He definitely wants to be careful of that. Because Gambit, like you said, they've taken this mid control. They're still looking to hold on to it for now. Boots, oh, this could be huge. If Hobbit gets the timing on it, Alex spots him out, spam comes. Oh! Alex is gonna be sore from that one in the morning. Not what he expected at all. Hobbit got away with murder, 14 health, but still the numbers in their favor. Ezitag's come on over. He wants to try and potentially find an even trade up in here. He's got Floppy alongside him as well. Hobbit's still hanging about, but he's just backed away in time. Oh, the timing on this is going to be very interesting. Hobbit's just holding.
Cloud9, they'll have to be proactive, and that is what Ezitag is doing right now. Going in for the duel and gets taken out by Hobbit again. They're losing every single duel right now. Messi with a lot to do right here, also losing the duel. This looks way too easy for Gambit. 2 versus 5 now. Robbie trying to stand. Gets a kill. Needs another one and gets the second one as well. Stays alive with 7 HP here. There's a little bit of a chance for Cloud9 to fight back in this one, but it's up to Voxic and Floppy. He's already done so much.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but like Ezitag pushing there, he had Floppy alongside him for the longest time. Then Floppy went back and he still continues to push on it. They should have at least been able to begin a trade position if Ezitag went down, had they kept that together.
Surely. And now you see the downfall of it. Voxic goes down, and there we go. Hobbit gets the kill as well. I don't know, but I like the approach from Gambit right here. They're well aware what's coming at him, right? Every single time Cloud9 has tried something proactive or something aggressive, they've been shut down every single time.
Yeah, the issue for Cloud9 right now is that all these 50-50 duels go in Gambit's way. I would even go as far as say that first duel between Alex and Gambit is a 60-40 for Alex, and somehow he misses the mark, which then gives the first kill to Gambit, and then you can see them, how they play that power play. They wait patiently. Hobbit kind of turtling down middle and then punishing Ezitag, make it a 5 versus 3, and even though Floppy tries his best, just not enough.
They basically were relying, right, that Gambit would then try and make a move off the back of it. But Gambit already knew, oh, Cloud9, you're probably going to try and fight back at us. You're going to fire back. And they just sat back and waited for it patiently.
Now another round that should be going the way of Gambit relatively easily. 6-0, about to be 7-0 unless something happens for Cloud9. There's a couple of deagles. Of course, they can't be hard-hitting, but I've seen nothing so far that suggests to me that Gambit is not well aware of how to approach these anti-eco rounds. They stay together, they use their utility well, and they play somewhat slow. Don't take any chances, don't take any risk. Hobbit maybe a little bit up here alone by himself. Has the backup, has the Molotov. Floppy can't really connect. Or what? Gets 1 kill right here, but is that enough? Exile and Shiro combines for 2 kills, and once again, It's a 2 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 4, and Alex gets nothing out of this one as well. 7-0. At what point is this too much?
Look at the money. They're all just stacked. It's
They're
like,
flushed.
let's just run it around over and over. You can just throw weapons up in the air if you want at this point. Gambit are living the dream.
This is where we ask of Alex to come up with a solution, because tactically speaking, Gambit have been one step away ahead. They've been punishing the aggression coming out of Cloud9. Then we could see Middle finding a kill. Gambit have been also very good at hiding what it is they're doing, keeping Cloud9 in the dark. So for the British IGL here, it's going to be quite tough this time around. We see Gambit with a different approach as well. Fast towards A, the retake comes in, but the kill don't go through. Floppy with the second one, that is pretty good from him. He's been the hero for Cloud9 in so many games.
He needs to be the hero now as well. He's done the damage to give him the numbers advantage, and well, we haven't been able to say that across many of these rounds. It's always been in Gambit's favor. Now you look, they went defensive, they've fallen back, and now they want to try and push back up on it again. They want to see if Cloud9 decide to move around, but Alex is still patiently waiting, despite being tagged up just a little bit.
Yeah, but there's 3 Molotovs available, and one of them will probably come in sandbags. It will right now, and now it's up to Alex to get something out of this round. Gets 1, gets 2. Fantastically done by Alex. Force back. 1 versus 4 for sure. That's going to be a tough one no matter what.
Oh, he knows.
We know what he's capable of, though.
He definitely is capable of a lot of stuff here, but 1v4 in this situation, they've got the money. It's not a problem if he does lose it. But do Gambit just play the smart game? Do they now try and take as many pieces away from Cloud9 and make this round expensive for him? That's what's going to be key here.
He can take his sweet time. He doesn't have to rush at all. He has 35 seconds to play with. Sure, winning the round might be in jeopardy, but what if he can take 1 gun away? What if he can take 2 and then make sure that Cloud9 actually do not build any bank? He's got a smoke to play with, and now with Molotov being picked up, he switches over to the M4, that transition power a bit more, I want to say, doable than with the AWP.
Yeah.
But again, the name of the game is economical damage.
Well, they are waiting for him. Alex is putting his head down. Shiro's got no idea just yet. He's picked up extra utility to try and work with it. He wants to get the plant down, but it's not going to work out. Alex holds on, and he holds on strong, but it was only Alex and Floppy to make sure they locked down that ramp in that round.
Yeah, and I liked it, right? Because Matthew said, what are they going to do? What is Alex telling the team right now? What is the solution? And they brought a double AWP setup into the round. The only problem with that one was that they never got any action to see for themselves. It was down to Floppy, down to Alex, winning the initial duel for the first time in this game. And I guess the AWPs were just a safety net behind them, because they are playing a double up setup now, Messi and Voxic. And that's not something we normally see for Cloud9.
Also, how aware are Gambit of that double AWP setup right now? Because they've played only the A side, they've tried and fight a lot, so they might be punished later on. I'm talking about punished here. Voxic doesn't even have a chance to shoot. He's out. Nafany has been so crucial in these openings.
And that was because Voxic was double zoomed in. The smoke was there, and he managed to push through. He was first scouting it with just a single zoom, misses out on the push-up. And again, they're losing a heavy hitter. Voxic 0-8.
My, oh my.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the star of Cloud9. He's supposed to be the guy leading the charge, not dying, as he's been doing so far. Looks rough for Cloud9. Still got a decent amount of utility to play with. They're holding on to it as well. I feel once again Floppy will have to come into question. He gets 1, but he needs more. He needs more, James.
He really does. Alex and Esitag, they are here. They've called in for the backup. But Gambit, they've still got plenty of time to work with here. All the utilities being spent out by Cloud9. Axel goes in for the kill, but he can't get it done. The spam's coming up. Shiro, he's dancing with him, he's toying with him, but he still gets it with the pistol. It's still in favor of Gambit, but Alex, he's on the side. He goes out for the spray down, but the refrags, the communication, it's all there for Gambit now. And Mezzi, we spoke about the double AWP setup being in play. He's tagged up into us quite nicely. Oh, and he gets it. Now it's just Hobbit. It's a 1v1. This is doable. Mezzi looking to clutch this out. And it's a round that Cloud9 desperately need their money. It's in the dumpster. And it continues to be so. It's not working out for them. They got 1 on the board and straight away smacked back down.
The trade game for Gambit right now is impeccable. It is perfect. The spacing they have between the waves of attack, there's always a buddy behind him ready to refrag, ready to trade, ready to revenge, and use that information to the best possible. So good job by Gambit. I thought Esitag had done enough with that kill, but unfortunately missing the mark against Shiro. That was the key kill of the round. Also, worth noticing, you could see the adaptation coming out of Gambit. They've been pushed 1 round towards the A side, so what do? They take it easy. They take a step back. They wait a little bit. They see if they can punish, and punish they do. Nafany scalps Woxic from the get-go. And as we said, he's been having a rough game, 0-0-8, but he can't wake up.
Look at this stat.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that is a very important stat line to be aware of in this game. 85.1% of the rounds where they get the first kill, they also end up winning. Cloud9 simply cannot afford to lose the opening duels.
Yeah.
Simple as it is right now. They've been losing a lot of them, especially to Nafany, who's been absolutely stunning walking up the A-ramp and opening up the rounds. On Vertigo, his rating the past 3 months is 1.13. The rating overall on all the other maps the last 3 months is 1.02. So he's a performer when it comes to Vertigo. He's a guy that likes to play this map, and you can see that basically reflected in the scoreline as of right now. By far the best player and most impactful player on the server thus far in the matchup.
I'm honestly real worried for Cloud9 right now. We talk about CT side. What do we say about this? What, 60-40 on Vertigo in general and how it works towards CT side?
That'd be a fair assessment. I'm just thinking about the protocols and the method that Cloud9 usually uses to get these CT rounds. And usually you see Alex being very proactive, very aggressive. You have Mirage in mind when he's pushing the B house. Can he find that same method on Vertigo? It's a map that is a little bit harder to push from behind. Middle, we could see some incursion. Down B as well, you can be a little bit more proactive. So maybe that's what needs to be done for Cloud9. Being aggressive, but not hands-on, full-on. Just going for information.
8-1 is the scoreline right now, and I'm almost willing to say that Cloud9, they cannot afford to lose more than 1 round in this half. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough uphill battle in the second half. Alex wants to go aggressive, gets a flash now, I guess. Walks through the smoke, can he get anything with? Good flash right here, gets one. Gets traded instantly again, as you talked about. Matthew, the trade fracking right now from Gambit is fantastic. So is the entry duels. This time they lost it, but instantly the trade comes in.
And the swap over comes in as well. It was Shiro on the AWP. He was trying to get boosted and see above it, see if he can get the initial pick off. With Hobbit being tagged up, put down a little bit lower. He throws on the AWP over to him. They're playing smart. They're keeping the teamwork going. This is the key to success for Gambit right now, and definitely on the team synergy, they're a step ahead of Cloud9.
A new challenge for them. We have seen what they can do with the power play. They have converted these 5v4s with ease, but now 4 versus 4. They don't have the man energy. You could argue it's T-sided, you know. Yeah. But the kill here is going to change everything. Floppy being punished was taking a little bit of risk. Is that the go, though? It's just Essetai with that UMP. Not the best weapon you want to have in a 1v4.
No, certainly not, Maniac. Essetai here, though, he needs to come up huge. This is where he needs to be the difference maker in a fight like this. Hobbit's a little bit low, but he'll be more towards the back lines. Shiro has been tagged up a tad, but he's not completely softened up. Essetai getting the first. He needs to come in with a second, but again, it's Gambit. They're always good to bounce back. Health's a little bit low compared to the 2 Cloud9 players. Woxic still needs to get on the board, needs to do some huge impact with that AWP in hand. Mezzi was nearly the hero in the previous round. The time is ticking away, but Gambit don't care. They'll go in for the plant. Wox is trying to get the spam. Nearly making it work, but it's not going to quite connect. And now, Cloud9 need to find a way in. All they've got to play with is smoke of their own. Potential to smoke the bomb down once they get into it, but look at the positions from Gambit. They're well aware they're completely surrounding it all. He just spotted Mezzi as well. He's got to be careful. Comes on to Woxic, but he gets the fast flick. He's managing to make it happen, and now this is certainly doable, but instantly, as Mezzi tries to work his way around the side, his teammate's fallen. He's going to go in for the backstab. He's going to try and make it happen. And he gets it done. Mezzi coming up huge. Side swipes him.
Does he got it though?
He doesn't
He doesn't have a kid. I wanted to say, James, I didn't want to ruin the moment. I didn't want to be that guy, the killjoy, the downer, but he doesn't have a kid, so it's just going to be a save. He's going to stay alive. Yeah, he does. So Constellation here, he's going to bring the AWP into the next round. It's good to see as well Woxic hitting that fast flick. Quite important in terms of individual confidence. He's been struggling right now, so might as well hit one. And Mezzi here with the clever play. A kit was all that separated them from a win.
I was just about to say, because the play he made right there, had he had a kit, that was absolutely fantastic. Waiting, taking his time, and being, you know, very, very calm on the trigger finger, but unfortunately, as you said, Matthew, no kid in play, and by then he couldn't win the round. Once again, Gambit's trading is what's winning them the rounds right now. Just try to imagine this thought process at home now that we have an Eco Voxic, of course, on an AWP. That's about it. Another opening, double opening from Gambit, right? So round is more or less over. If you remove the names on your screen right here and you just look at the way the players are playing on the server, you wouldn't think that Gambit are Gambit right now. They play like a much, much better team. Messi fighting back. Maybe that's enough. We'll see Exile walking in, getting the kill. There's always a trade fact potential when it comes to Gambit. I've been thoroughly impressed with the way of playing Counter-Strike so far.
Oh, Woxic needs to be careful here. He's pushing on in and he instantly gets domed. Gambit, they are just so well aware of all the protocols, of all what can be happening here.
He saw the AWP disappear like an abracadabra, just gone. So he knows where he is. And for Estetak, the long mission is going to be to save that AWP. But I just wanted to point out, we talked about that pick coming out of Gambit, and the least we can say is that they are organized in the first 15 to 20 seconds. Everything is polished. They know exactly where they're peeking, when they're peeking. There's always a buddy behind. The pop flash is good. Nafany has been, sure, stellar in open kills. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but the system around him is very well polished.
And this is the
Yeah, sorry, I just want to know what he ate for dinner tonight, because it's been stunning, right? It's not a player that we don't see him that much on the top level, but when we do see him, we don't see him perform at this level. So to me, this is a first-hand experience with how good he can be when he's unhitting it.
So when Gambit win, Pimp, I'll ask him what he had for dinner, and then we'll get that you before your stream game so you can dominate like this, yeah?
I'm usually better than that, so.
Oh, okay.
All right,
why did Cloud9 not pick you up then? They not put a big price tag on your name?
Too expensive, homie. Too expensive.
Pimp is worth too much. These Gambit players, though, they're showing more than their worth in this game. And I completely agree with you guys. This is teamwork, right? Yeah, okay, you see Nafany and Hobbit, they're up there. They're fragging out.
Oh, beautiful.
That's what you need to see finally from Cloud9. They tried to go aggressive on ramp multiple times. Big miss coming in from Shiro, and that's not going to be acceptable. He's expecting another push to come on through. Goes in for the tank through the wall, but it's not going to work out as Axile, he's moved on over. He's trying to find another way, and he believes he can get it done. The flash comes out, but he's still working his way around the boxes here. They've pushed in. They've been given so much space. And Sentry Grenade goes down on their feet. But look, they're in the site. Floppy and Messi got to push their way back in. They've got to be oh so careful here.
They can just let the bomb be planted. It's not a problem for Cloud9. They have the 5v3. They have 2 smokes, 3 smokes actually, 2 Molotovs this time around. So they could organize. Starts well with Estag grabbing Shiro. Axel is good on the trade, but Alex will be the one besting him, and Inters will not be able to win that 1v4. Why did I say Axel? Sounds good as well.
Axel,
Alex.
I feel like we know someone called Axel.
we've got Axel, we've got Alex, and we've got an Axile. We're really going to have fun today.
Look, I just want to point out what happened here for Cloud9. Instead of being a first, second aggression coming out of the A-ramp, they waited for the right timing this time around. We saw Estag waiting for the moment to pounce right here. Going at the end of that Molotov, grabbing these 2 kills, that was the difference maker.
Yeah, but I also want to spin that one around, because Gambit in a 3 versus 5, they actually gave themselves a chance to win the round.
Yeah.
Initially, thinking to yourself, okay, 3 versus 5, you're on the T side. They were proactive again, going up towards the B bomb side, got the bomb plan, and there was a couple of duels that could have gone their way, that could have put the round into jeopardy, but this time around, Cloud9, they won the duels. Once again, Estetak, he's been stepping it up the last couple of rounds. They need him. Alex going down this time around, though. Instant trade frag. Oh, instant.
And this is great, right? Gambit know that, okay, we can keep pushing ramp. They're going to commit a lot to it early on. Then we can just boulder up into the other site and try and make this work for us. Messi being flashed out of existence. The smoke going down on top of him as well. Should allow for the plant to go down, though, as Woxic's also fallen. Axile didn't just bust into the site, but he's busting heads elsewhere. And Gambit now in a 4v2. Estetak and Floppy, the only ones left alive. And they're falling back. They need to, because what? They'll be reset again.
It's over. It's over for Cloud9's chances in this round. And once more, we see how disciplined Gambit can be and how disciplined they are once they have the advantage, once they have the power play. A key moment for me on that B side is when the smokes are laying down, and instead of being over-eager in peeking, they just wait it out and then they calmly walk through. Now Shiro, his mission is quite clear. Take weapons away, and so goes Floppy. That's an AK on the ground. Estetak, we said it. He's been the man to fight back on the A side. Will he be able to keep that M4? Could be a huge difference maker if you consider the money. I think he might be good. I'm not really good with these timings quite yet. That's okay. I need to learn how many seconds are left when the game is over. It's a learning curve.
It is a learning curve, right? We're enjoying it.
I'm loving it.
It's beautiful to hear your voice just more than just when we're on the desk.
I feel like I'm talking too much.
No,
I'm not used to talk that much.
Twitch chat, tweet a Maniac and tell him to talk more, if anything. We want all that knowledge to come out. I'll shut up more, right, so people don't get sick of me, and you can talk more, Maniac. It's all about room, it's all about space, and, well, space is something Cloud9 don't have. In their heads, maybe, at this point, because there's lots of holes in there made by Gambit.
Look at the stack coming in for Cloud9. They have 4 players trying to defend that A ramp, that A side. It's been a point of contention. But now the retake is on. They've been trying to use that method for a while. But Nafany, do they know? Do they know about Nafany? I think he might have just been able to squeeze in. They don't seem to be aware.
No.
That's going to be an easy kill for Nafany. He gets floppy, and with that, maybe the side just putting down the steps. Esetai is also, that's lurk on lurk on lurk. No one knew Esetai was actually in speedwalk. Hobby will be there for the trade. Alex in the middle of the side. That is hella confusing.
He might not get checked, though. This is a question. Alex could do some serious damage from here because they feel like they've got control. Sandbags has not been checked. He's in a good spot for it, but his teammates are falling still. This is still a 4v2, and Cloud9's Alex needs to do a huge amount of work. Pops off one and gets the second. He's looking for the next. Inters is on the side, on the ramp. Alex checked it, but did not check close. Inter still looking up high. Alex is doing it all. He's managing to make it work. 3 swift kills from a genius position, but Gambit made the error. They did not check this.
That 1v2, now 1v1. The information game being won by Cloud9 right now because Alex, as we can see, had time to reposition. So it becomes a mental battle. Can you guess where your opponent is? That angle is really, really hard check.
Yeah.
Axad versus Alex, 36 versus 16. Could be the difference between 11-4 and 13-2, and Alex will make it. The hero of that round, finding that opportunity, going towards Sandbag. So well played by the IGL.
That was the play. That was something that Cloud9 needed, but it was so lucky. They allowed, again, all this room for Gambit just to walk on in. They're basically chilling, saying we got a free site. If it wasn't for Alex, if he couldn't even get 1 kill, right, there would have been a huge problem. Then he comes in and cleans up everyone. Calculated, smart play coming in, but still only 3 rounds on your CT side. This is awful for Cloud9.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's just about keeping them alive, right? Because it's already looking pretty dreadful for Cloud9, to be completely honest with you. They need more rounds. They need this 4th one as well if they want to stay alive in this game. A pistol round on the T side, and all of a sudden we have a game again. But as of right now, there's no doubt Gambit has been the better playing team. Tech aggressive again this time around. They're waiting for him. They're punishing him. And once again, finding the first kill. Nafany, he's been all over this A-bomb side. Time and time again, he finds the kill. Alex, 3 versus 5. You have to be proactive. You have to do something. But Nafany, he's waiting you.
They know. They know he's waiting for it. Alex still able to get the upper hand in that duel, making it a doable, winnable round for Cloud9 now in that 3 versus 4. He's grabbing a lot of information, but Shiro is waiting to punish. I thought he was in position with the sniper.
Alex, he still wants to try and go for it a little bit here. Gambit are just going to group on back up. Hobbit doing a nice bit of damage to Woxic. The nade's coming out as well. Woxic needs to be careful. He's been chipped down. Messi's there on the side. He's trying to make it work. He's spraying away. Gambit needs to be careful, but Inters. Big headshot comes through. Woxic, he's already been softened up. Alex is doing everything once again, but is it going to be enough? 2 kills in this round. 2 players left to find. Woxic on the timing. They're not checking for him. And Shiro was waiting. The timing. Now it's Woxic to clutch. It needs to come up huge. He goes up into it, but it's not going to work out. Gambit get their first half. T-side Vertigo on their map pick 12-3. And now we will be going to a break to see if Cloud9 can bust their way back into this.
gonna take what's mine. I'm gonna take what's mine. I'm taking over. I don't care what you say. I'm taking over. Don't stand in my way. I'm gonna seize the day. I'm gonna seize the day. I'm gonna seize the day. So don't stand in my way.
Thinking, oh, I've been thinking about the time when we were young and free and wild. Count down from 3. I'll be as quick as I can. There's nothing stopping me. It's all for you. I like, I know we can have.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and that is not an error you see on your screen. Do not adjust your sets. This is the real deal. This is Gambit up 12-3 against Cloud9 on Vertigo. Cloud9 now have an incredibly tough T side to deal with, and Gambit, well, they seem to have all the answers, but will it stack up on their CT side? We're about to find out.
Highly important pistol round. Yeah, you know, it's just the suspense is right here, right? Probably the most important pistol round Cloud9 have played so far in this time together. Pushing in towards the A-bomb side, fast paced, just like we saw Gambit do it in the first half. Getting the bomb down, no, fake planting it, waiting for the grenades, but no nades are coming in. They're not aware Gambit haven't purchased them. Moxie gets the bomb planted, and here we are, 5 versus 5 retake. That's what Vertigo offer you sometimes.
And that retake's going to be hard with both Hobbit and the Fanny softened up just a little bit. The Glock from Alex doing some damage at the long range. He's patiently trying to make some kills happen. Finally gets one on the board. Shiro's popped his way in, and he's popping heads, but he needs to do a lot more than that. Shiro and Axel in a 2v3, and Axel so low on health, but Shiro, he's the one doing it all. Esetak's trying to come around the side. He wants to check the nod on the bombs. He's on to Axel, and he'll finish off Shiro as well. And that's the pistol that Cloud9 needed to keep themselves well within reach of fighting back in this game.
Excellent work by Esetak on that side position here, waiting for the right timing. Crosser placement on top. He's got everything. 4 kills for him, making a huge difference. We talked about Cloud9 and we talked about their T sides mostly. This is where we praised them last week. This is where Alex impressed us with his IGL abilities, right? So there is definitely a way back in. At least the first step has been done for Cloud9. Now we see Gambit not willing to let go. Full force coming in. We have the Scout on Shiro. Couple of deagles, actually 3 deagles with armor for Axide, Nafani and interns. There's even a kit on Hobby. That's a fun little plus, fun little bonus, a little bit of strawberry on top of that vanilla to have that Diffus kit in the force buy. We don't see that often.
I know it could be very important as well if we get into a round where it's going to be close. Alex in a good position though to catch a kill right here. Yes, opens himself up. They now know where he is. But Alex doesn't quite hit him. And it stays a 5 versus 5.
It was just pressure. It was just pressure for Cloud9. Taking a little bit of information, maybe forcing some rotate. And as we could see on the mini-map, it worked. Gambit reacted to that A map session on the stairs. They've given away the A side. It's just Shiro now with Scout. It's about tagging people. It's about making some damage. Ooh. Not gonna be enough. Esetak takes him out quickly. 5v4 now. The side has fallen.
Too many positions for Shiro to check there with the Scout. Cloud9 found their way in. The grenades are going up. Aren't going to do too much damage. They just missed the mark. Esetak ready and waiting for that. And that's smart from Gambit now. Just back away. Hold on to it. See what you can make happen in the next round. Just allow Cloud9 to have this one because you know you're far away from getting this done.
Absolutely no reason to lose the investment you made. There's still a Scout onto Nafani. There's still armor, deagle. So potentially the next round is going to be the same case scenario where you have a somewhat decent buy going in against Cloud9. It's not a buy where you can allow yourself just to run around and farm money. If you're Cloud9, you have to be careful, you have to be ready. S-Tech takes down, enters. There we go. Ooh. Making it expensive for Cloud9. I'm not sure if I agree with this decision making by Cloud9 to go for this. Sure, it's nice to get a couple of deals down. Sure, it's nice to make sure that Gambit is not going to be that dangerous coming into the next round. But is it really worth it to lose 2 players in that situation? I don't think so. So already a little bit of a mistake made by Cloud9.
And you see the smarts here now, right? The weapons were swapped around. Inzers would have just had a USP. They swap all the weapons over. Shiro on the Scout, Galil to Axel, CZ and Deagles to play with for everyone else. Shiro went for a pop shot, but it wasn't going to connect. He'll back away as the rest of Gambit take their positions and get themselves prepared for this. Cloud9 certainly need to be careful in a round like this because Gambit have a lot to offer. But for now, Cloud9, it's all about building this confidence.
We have information being granted, but Mezzi is ready for the punish. It's just enough. It's a warning shot, though. Nafany happy to stay alive in this round, 12 HP. Is that going to be the decider for Cloud9 activating towards the A side? So far, they're taking their sweet time, and rightfully so. They have no pressure when it comes to time. A minute, more than a minute to play with. A lot of utilities to clear these kind of tricky angles where the pistol is going to play. And speaking of pistol, Hobbit is quite close carded with Alex with the AK, and he gets the kill with the CZ. That's the key frag right here. Can he be able to pick up the AK and make more difference? So far, so good. But Cloud9, they're changing the course.
Yeah, Cloud9 are backing away. They don't want to fall into a trap here. They've been scared off for sure. Luckily, Mezzi is checking all the corners, all the angles right now. Nafany on the edge. He wants this push-up to come his way. He wants a couple of close-range deagle shots to be able to pop off. One found, but the spray comes through. They're being backed up here. It's nicely trading out. There's a big bit of damage done towards the Cloud9 players, but Shiro, he's unable to hit the mark. It's Comet. Oh, and he nearly gets it with a spray down, but S-Attack, he saves the day. A headshot's landed, but Cloud9, that was costly. That was way too close.
We talked about how Gambit could be dangerous in that round, saving what they had the previous, and we have the result right here. Only one man staying alive. S-Attack saving, literally saving Cloud9 in that round. Hobbit did the best he could in that 1 versus 2. We see here the crosser placement is perfect. He's ready for trade, and that could be the difference maker down the line.
We're talking one bullet more from Hobbit connecting toward S-Attack. That is Cloud9 losing the round. Thank God they didn't this time around, but Shiro finally finding some work. And that's the scary part about Gambit so far, the fact that they've been able to win and take such a big lead against Cloud9 without having their 2 best players breaking out, Exile
timing.
and Shiro. Look at that.
This is a near miss in just a few seconds.
I'm getting very excited about near misses like that. You know, because you can see it coming in. Like, oh, they're going to peek.
And look at Nafany again. Proactive, aggressive. He almost reminds me like Art on this map right now. Here, there, and everywhere. Trying to find and walk in behind the lens of Cloud9 and Nafany. He's going to be in a good position now.
Oh, he hears the shots.
I think he's waiting for the second one. Is he playing the long game? Does he realize he has someone in front of him? I don't think he realized how close he was, but that's the first kill onto Mezzi. Alex, good for the trade, not quite yet. Nafany able to make it 2. That's the bomb on the ground. It's going to smoke it, maybe going for a third flop. He's too fast on the trigger, but Axel comes in as a trade. 13-6 for Gambit.
Gambit nearly won the 4th round. 1 player left alive. S-Attack gets it. They come into the buy round with 4 alive, and they shut Cloud9 down. Great work. Super proactive there from Nafany.
That was nasty from Hobbit. That wall bang, we didn't quite catch it. That was
tasty.
Tasty.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
God, yes, I guess. Jesus.
Pistol power for Cloud9 in this round. Already grenades doing a lot of damage. They're being tagged up, they're being fragged up, but S-Attack's got some of his own. He's trying to pull it out, but Hobbit with the sandbags. He's making it work. He's living the dream for now. And again, this could be the 14th round so easily secured here. Mezzi just needs to do some serious damage if possible. Bit of a late play on the Molotov, and instantly Axel comes round the corner.
And once again, Nafany finding the first kill in the round. He's been involved in 14 opening duels so far.
I thought you were going to say 4, like 4?
No,
oh my God.
No. Absolutely insane. He's been winning the majority of those. It's absolutely fantastic what he's doing right now. As I said before, he reminds me a little bit of the way Art is playing when he's playing for Furia. Being super proactive, being super close, being super aggressive, and walking behind the lines of the enemy. He's been doing that a couple of times, both on the CT side, but also on the T side. He's playing one hell of a game right now, and once again, he wants to fight. He's not steering away from any of this.
you smell what the Glocks are cooking? Because they're coming for you. The Glocks for Nafany. Just tapping a little bit in the stats right here, making it feel good. To be fair, he kind of deserves it. He's been the man of the hour when it comes to gun rounds by far. So let him have it. Let him have some fun. Axile will chime in, winning the duel versus Messi. And what's really striking me about this Gambit team so far is how cleanly they have won the round. It was never really about clutches. We've had a couple of 1v1s here and there, but overall, the round they won, they did it in such a clean fashion. No questions asked. I mean, right now it's just about stats batting. Axel's gonna have the time of his life right here until Woxic answers back with the Glock. Probably gonna be the only kill he can get, and we have 15-6. Gambit, 1 round away from taking down Cloud9 on Vertigo.
Yeah, and I don't think any of us would have expected this scoreline to be the case,
James
right?
would.
James would, of course. James would expect them to win 60.
I predicted it. You know, my CIS boys out here. CIS all the way.
But if you're honest, right,
No.
you probably wouldn't expect it a 16-6. I think it's been very impressive for Gambit. Of course, they have to close out the game now. It's not just over yet, but Cloud9, they're required to win 9 rounds in a row if they want to get back into OT. They can't even win the game by now. They only push it into OT, and I'm not seeing that happen anytime soon.
No, from what we've seen from Cloud9 thus far, it's just not been enough. Gambit are by far the better team when it comes to Vertigo. They're hitting their shots and they're hitting the mark. And just the difference in team play and synergy is huge here.
You can see Gambit pretty much just going through the motions of the rounds here, making a lot of difference with the utility. A lot of Cloud9 players stopping up, spraying through the smoke. That's always a dangerous game if you're going to empty your whole magazine. Floppy found interns so far away, but the trade comes in for Hobbit. We talked about the trading potential for Gambit, and once again, there is an instant answer coming on the round. 4 versus 4. Granted, should be advantage T side, but Axe side might surprise everyone with that ledge position. Oh, Jacob P, good. He has to give up the position.
Axel wants to challenge some more, though. He throws the nade out, expects someone to be down there. Mezzi walks straight into it. He's just giving him the opportunity. And now, once again, Gambit with the numbers in their favor. Woxic having a terrible game, and he's about to deal with Nafany. The flash comes in, and Woxic goes down.
Perfect.
Gambit in a 4v2 to close this out 16-6. Alex has done everything possible alongside S-Attack to try and fight back against the Gambit boys. But it has not been enough, and Axel, little does he know, Alex is behind him. Oh, he's made some noise now. This might give him a chance. He gets spotted. It would allow him to get a plant down. Certainly possible. Alex is an experienced, capable player.
He's got time, but he has nothing else to play with. That's going to be 3 quick kills or nothing because everyone from Gambit is coming from the same position.
Gonna jump on down. Fanny goes down first, but Hobbit easily makes quick work of Alex. 16-6, and Gambit take their map pick. Vertigo was impressive from start to finish, and Cloud9, well, they don't have the answers.
James, we've just spent an entire week covering some of the best teams in the world playing Counter-Strike, some of the greatest players out there. And I gotta say, this is some of the most impressive Counter-Strike I've seen the last week. Everything was on point for Gambit right here. Everything they did was together. Everything they did on the server seemed to be planned out, and they had the individual skill to pull it off as well. We talked about Shiro, Exile coming into the game. They weren't even the 2 guys we had to look out for. It was fantastic by Gambit right here.
It was fantastic from Gambit, and this just gets me excited for Inferno. And maybe Cloud9's pick, but going to have to deliver a lot better than that if they want to take down Gambit. We're going to a break. When we come back, you get to see potentially the conclusion of this epic series. You can build from the ground up with some youngsters and find success, or you can try and buy your way to it, which is what Cloud9 will need to do on the second map. As Gambit wins 16-6 on Vertigo and Maniac, it was oh so impressive. The teamwork, the synergy, they had a great read on the game, and they were able to play off each other so well.
They had everything. As you say, they had the planning, they had the execution, they had the clutches, they had the opening kills. 16-6, losing 1 gun round with conversion. It is as clear-cut as it gets. Gambit never, ever had a doubt on this first map.
And you know what? I never have a doubt in one man that we've got over here. We got Pimp with a stat helix for us. So what are we looking at this time, brother?
Well, I want to show you guys what they did so well, because they were being reactionary on their T side. This round, it's already 10-2 for Gambit, so they already got off to a pretty good start here. Now, what's going to happen as we play out the clip is that Cloud9 is going to get a first pick. We don't see that often. Esetek is going to push down, and he's getting the first kill right here. Or Alex, that may be. We see a lot of action happening right here, and there we go. First kills goes towards Cloud9. Now, if we stop it for whatever reason, Alex have left the B bomb side by himself, alone, open, and he's gonna go in here and he's gonna die now. And look at the reaction coming in from Gambit, right? As soon as they get that kill, all of the members is just gonna flush in towards that B bomb side, and they react instantly. Often you see people hesitate a little bit. Often you see teams, you know, okay, we got a kill, we just gotta calm down, we gotta figure out where they are. But Gambit didn't wait at all. They were constantly going whenever they saw an opportunity, and Cloud9, they couldn't handle it.
And that was the story for Cloud9. They really couldn't handle it. It wasn't easy for them. And now, if you're Cloud9, you're thinking, okay, completely reset ourselves. We are the more experienced team. They've got to be telling themselves they are the better team as well. I think that's the key point here.
I guess. I don't really know what you can take away from Vertigo if you're Cloud9. I think it's a case of just forgetting about the first map. There's going to be a time where you can review the demo, understand what happened. But as I said, it was so clear-cut that there's no point in rehashing what's happening right here. You're going to move on to Inferno. As you know, just to set the scene for the viewers. First time we saw Cloud9 on Inferno, they got smashed by Virtus.pro 16-5. That was Flashpoint. But then we saw them go up against Mousesports, putting up a great fight, only losing 13-16. So there is an evolution. It is a better looking Cloud9. That is their peak. So definitely I'm expecting more of a fight coming on.
And Inferno is a pretty good map for Gambit. You can't look all at just the percentage, right? Because they are playing quite a lot of lesser teams within it. But they are a more than capable team. And that's impressive at any level.
I'm scared. I'm scared for Cloud9 right now. This was not a good showing on Vertigo. And we saw what happened on Inferno when they were playing Mousesports last time around. They got off to a good start and they fell flat. As soon as they were figured out, they didn't have a plan B. They didn't have a plan C. And that's what you lack when you haven't been together for a long, long time, as Cloud9 have not. So if you're Gambit and you get off to another good start, or at least you keep up with them in the beginning of the game, then I think Gambit, you know, they've been together for quite a long time. Their plan B, their plan C is probably stronger than Cloud9's as of right now. So if I'm Cloud9, I want a good start and I want to get off fired up on all cylinders. Otherwise, I'm afraid this is going to be a 2-0.
And I think we realistically have to give a lot of credit, right, to what Gambit have put in place here. They had good coaches in place before, right, before Hobbit came into play. Now Hobbit's taken over the in-game leader side of things. And you can see there's a lot of belief, there's a lot of confidence in each other when they're playing like this.
Yeah, again, that is the key to that whole project and how they have evolved. As a reminder, they used to be Gambit youngster. The core of them have been together for more than a year. Hobbit just coming in as the 5th player, right? That's been a couple of months back. But the rest of them, they know each other so well. They trust in each other. They have confidence in what's happening. So it's not just a case of taking one player and just, you know, pushing in with the big boys. No, they evolved together. They improved together. And we talked about it in the pre-show. Could that be the window of opportunity for Gambit to make a name for themselves out there, you know, to take down some of these teams? Cloud9, I know it's a huge name. I know they are great players in that lineup. But let's not forget, it's a new project. It's a new book, new page every day. So Gambit, they definitely have a shot at winning Inferno here.
And this is the thing, right? It's not just like, okay, Cloud9 has sat here and they've had loads of time experience. They're still learning their own way. They're still finding out what works for them.
Yeah, it must be scary for them, right? Because they can't be confident in their plan B and their plan C. And they know they're playing a well-playing Gambit as of right now. It didn't take Shiro to go off. It didn't take Exile to go off and take over the server. Those two are the best players winning Gambit. So Cloud9, they got to step up. They got to do better. Otherwise, as I said, I'm afraid this is going to be a 2-0.
Cloud9 really do need to step it up. We're going to Inferno. It is their map pick, but Gambit look like the stronger team. They've been hot from start to finish, but can they keep it going on Inferno? Find out after the break.